Hello, welcome to Spy Money. It is April 27th, a Thursday. It is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk about how the Ninja Suite can help you. There's also some people that are part of the Ninja Suite now. We have some people that had said that they would like to speak and tell you what it's done for them. They are not paid. They are on their own. It is an open mic, so they're going to be able to say whatever, and I can't monitor it. So whatever they say, they say. I'm going to show you the Discord, show you how people have profits in there. Occasionally we'll get someone that'll post a loss. Usually the loss is because they don't follow rules. And if you follow the rules, then you should be good. Say, hey Jeff, glad you're in here, buddy. You're a new user today. Signed up today. So what you do is you go to the Ninja Suite at the top. And we have two different leases you can do. You can do the bots and the indicators together, and you can do the indicators only. If you do the bots and indicators together, it's $1,300 a month, and you can. There's no contract or anything. You can sign up, do this for a month, and if you don't like it, you cancel. And you can also do just the indicators only. And I have a good mixture. A lot of people ask me, how many are doing each one, and we have a good mixture. I would say that the majority of the people lease the bots as well, and they'll find that they'll use the bot for an entry and then they'll take over. Because the bot will actually teach you how to trade these strategies. And what I recommend is to, once you sign up, manually trade or lease or run the bots until you figure out how the strategies work and get some practice in. You don't want to lose money. I always recommend running on the sim at first. So the Ninja Suite is, um, again, the bots and indicators. I need to update this down here because we have some new products that are not on here. We have all of these bots that are included. We have all the indicators included. If you do the bots and indicators, you get both of these. If you only lease the indicators, you get the bottom is what you're going to get. And as far as the add-ons, no matter which one you do, you get all of these. We have our own trade copier. Some people use an Apex trade copier. Some people use the Replicana by Flowbots. They all work pretty good. Some swear by the Apex one that works better with their system. And then some people like another one, like mine or like the Replicana. It really doesn't matter to me which one. We do supply one if you don't have it, and that just saves you some money. It's included. It does a good job. I use it daily, so I don't really have any problems with it. It works pretty good. The only time I have any trouble is the Tradeify accounts. If you have a funded account, those Tradeify accounts are not canceling out. They're actually putting too many orders in. You have to go into Tradeify.com and cancel them out. So we've had some issues with that. One person, he uses Rhythmic Apex, and he uses the Flowbots Replicana, and he said he never has any trouble. So I haven't been having any trouble with any of them. The only time I'd have trouble is whenever I put a stop too close to the target, and then it won't close out, and then you've got to go through all those errors. We also supply the a channel drawing tool and the Fibonacci retracements, head and shoulders. I don't really use the head and shoulders. I made it a long time ago, and so I just supply it. Here's some questions and answers that a lot of people ask. I think one of the main things that people ask are, can I lease only the indicators? Yes, you can, right there. And only the bots? No. You have to lease the bots and indicators together. As far as the, some people just say that they want to lease one bot, and there's one certain one they want. Well, I don't do it that way. There's only two packages. And how many PCs can you run this on? One machine ID per person. Well, actually per user. And let me show you something that, so you know, this is the back end of the website. And what we do on the machine ID is when you click on here, and it will open up, and let's just say it's the indicators only. So what you can do is you follow these instructions, and you come down here and put your machine ID in here at submit. So a lot of people will trade at work during the day, and then they come home with one on their home computer. You can do that. When you come home, you just have to go through and change your machine ID, and then it will work on your computer. This is tied to your account on the website. It is not something you can share. It will be tied to you directly. And as soon as you submit the new one, the old one will not work. So this is for one machine at a time, and that's how we do it. It also works on the same way with the bots. You come in here, there's the bots, and you do that. A lot of people ask about, are there instructions and so forth. If you go into the setup, this teaches you how to set up NinjaTrader so that you can go ahead and get NinjaTrader under the control panel tools options. And there's some things you have to set up in order to make the bots work correctly. So there's instructions that tell you how to do that, how to turn the bots on, and so forth. There's quite a bit of, here I'll open it up. I don't want to make this too long tonight because I want to get right into the teaching how to trade. But here are some of the setup instructions that we use. And also the bot parameters. So in the bot parameters, inside the bot, and I'm updating this because we just changed our bots. But in the bot parameters under the settings, it tells you what each one is. Like, for instance, a trail stop. A lot of people don't understand how to set up a trail stop, and there's videos and so forth that teach you that. If you have trouble, there's a support ticket that you can fill out. When you click on this, this will show all of your support tickets that you have done. And then here is the import. So this is where you install the indicators and the bots. If it'll work here. So for instance, if you click on this one, and then it's going to tell you exactly how to do it. There's a video explaining how to install it. Always back up your NinjaTrader before you do it, just to make sure. And then down here is your download. You click the download and you just import it like you normally would. In this one, it will have all of the bots included in one import. So you'll go to Tools, Import, NinjaScript Add-on, and then when you do that, it will import all of your bots. So, and the indicators works the same way. We have the trading strategy. This is one of the older ones I do. It's on Sweet Scalper. The add-on and indicators, the tutorials on how to use each one of them. We also have the NinjaSuite SpyBot tutorials to let you know how to use the bots. And I need to update some of these because we got some new bots out. NinjaSuite SpyBot settings. So in order to use the bots, we have a lot of settings that are in the NinjaTrader as well, or not the NinjaTrader, but the Discord channel as well. So we have settings there. Live stream videos, all of our live stream videos, when we go in here and you click on this, and then this is where we have our training videos. You can go into the second page and right here. So like the trender strategy, what we're going to go over tonight, here's several of them. Some of them are a couple hours long, but most of them, I try to keep all the videos down to about an hour. And then a couple more. The Shaker Boss is a new one that we come out with, and we're going to talk about that tonight. Let's see here. Go back in. Live stream, then we have some trading strategies. This shows the different ones. Well, I've got to add myself to it. I've been working on the website. But when you go into the trading strategies, it will show the different strategies we're using. You click on it, and it will have pictures and tutorials and so forth to do that. We also have a Spy Money VPS. A lot of you don't know this, but if you have a slow computer, can't afford to really go out and buy a gaming computer or so forth, you can do a VPS. You can access it from any computer, anywhere you are, even your phone and your tablet, and it will allow you to see just, it's like a browser, but it's your PC. So that's how we do the back end. As far as a lot of people ask this all the time, wanting to know how to get in, as far as the instructions and everything. It's not really hard to do, but it does take some time to get through it. If you're new to NinjaTrader, it's going to be a little bit hard. One thing that a lot of people ask, can I cancel at any time? Yes, it's 30 days. So once you pay for 30 days, if you don't want to do it, you cancel it. You can do that inside your account. You don't have to send me an email or nothing. You just go in there, cancel it, and it will not charge you. Offer support. I've been told I have second to none. I mean, it's just like my support. I'm always on it. I always try to take care of everybody, do my best with it. Of course, if I'm sleeping, I can't. But I do try to offer support. Most everything that you have trouble with, there's videos on the website in order to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and come out of here. So that is how you get in the back end. So getting once you set it, you lease it, you're going to go straight into the back end, and you can do everything yourself. You don't have to wait on me. So that's one of the main things a lot of people ask us. Like, we have a lot of people in a lot of different countries, and you know, if I'm asleep, they're awake, and they want to go ahead and get started. Well, you can, because we have that machine ID on the back end of the website. So as soon as you lease it, you get the downloads immediately, and then you get started. So again, if y'all have any questions, post the questions in the chat box, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So let's get into a training. I'm going to show you two different strategies that I use, and this is the newest one I've been using. This is called the. Actually, let me do something here. I'll put that on a sim account in case we hit a button or something. I don't want to be live trading. So there's really only there's two indicators on here that we're really looking at. And if you want, I can take these one step at a time. So let's go ahead and take all of these out. And let's just look at, and whenever you lease the indicators or bots, all of your indicators are right here. So you get all of these indicators that come with it. So we're going to go ahead and add the shaker. Now the shaker, we have different things that we can do with it, and this one actually does a really good job. Real happy with it. I've had this indicator a very long time, and the way it works is you have this blue and gold line. This blue and gold line, if it's gold, that is telling you the shorts only. If it is blue, it is telling you longs only. But if you use this on by itself, then there's really only one entry that you can do. When the candles come up and cross over the shaker line, we enter here and we're looking for the money line. This green line is a money line. That's what we call it. So just for instance, we're on a 10 SPY money bar. If we're on a 10 SPY money bar, we're looking for about $100 on every trade. We usually add a 0 to that, and that kind of gives you an idea of about what you're going to make, possibly. This one right here, going to the money line, there's $95. Pretty close. Now, you can do one of two things. When you cross over this, you can take your profit here, just put your profit target there and be done with it. Or you can put your profit target up higher and then chase the candles, as I call it. That's what I usually do, chase candles. So when I go in here, I would put my stop right under here. Actually, I'd go about mid-bar. And let me make this a little bigger for you. We're going to get into some meat and potatoes, but I got to start with the basics because a lot of people don't know any part about this. But what we do is when it crosses over, we enter here. I'll usually put my stop one candle back of this one. So if this is the current bar, I'll put my stop about right here, just a few ticks underneath that bar. When I do that, then I just start chasing these up. Now, if I'm looking to get right here, then I will go ahead and wait for this to come up, and I'll put my stop real close right in here. If it keeps on going and gets above, then I'll bring my stop up to here, and then as it goes up, my stop would have been, I would have actually stopped out right here if I was chasing this one. So this one would have been $125 per contract. Most people that come into my group will typically want to make about $500 a day. That's kind of an average goal for people. And I have people making, a lot of money every day in the group. A lot of money. I mean, $10, $15, $20,000 a day. So there's people in there that are aggressive with their trading, and they don't mind going in a little bit heavier. But they're just about everybody in there is quick to take profit. So if you can get 5 points out of something, take it. 5 points out of NQ is really good. So our next trade that we would take with this one, just doing the shaker only. That's not doing any kind of pullbacks or anything. We're just going to talk about the crosses. So on this one, we would go ahead and enter at the cross of this bar, and we would be looking for the money line. So there's $145. As you can see, this one was less money than this one. So we're not looking for a dollar amount per se. We're looking for this level, our money line. So this one, you'd had 2 trades actually from open today. So you'd been $125. Well, actually, let's just take it to the money line. If you took it to the money line, you'd be around $95. Call it 100. So you've been about $100 there, and this one you would have been about 145 or 150. So roughly $250 on 2 trades, and from open, which was right over here. So from 6 o'clock in the evening Eastern time all the way over to 6:27. So in 27 minutes, you would have roughly $250, depending on how you entered and got out. So it's going to vary a little bit. So on these two, you're actually that much money ahead. So you're halfway to your goal in less than 30 minutes. Now, let's come back over here. Now we're going to see that we would have entered here, but our stop would have been here. So we would have been stopped out. And this one we would have been, as this went up, so you would have been stopped out about right here for $75 loss. But when this come back down, you can also take this short. What I tell everybody is when this is coming down and our shaker is kind of going up, we want to concentrate more on the longs. Now, if the shaker is coming down, we want to concentrate more on the shorts. So this is like a directional indicator that we use. So on this one, we're going to have a winner, we're going to have a small loss here, and then when this comes back down, it would be determined upon you to take the short or not. If you did, you would have actually stopped out here and then took another short there. This would have been really fast, so I doubt you would have got in the short. And then when this come back up, enter here, put your tight stop. Since we didn't break this level, that means it's probably going to come back down, so that is a good time to take a short. So your short here, this one right here, you would have entered there, and when this started pushing up and going sideways, we call this stacking. When the candles start stacking beside each other, we get out for a small loss, a small profit, or a break even. So let's just say that you took a small loss here of $30. So there's roughly $100 in there. But you would have gotten in the short here all the way down to the money line. And there's 225. So this far outweighs this. You were up about 250 here. You're down about 100 here, so that's 150. And then, so now you're at 375 or so. You know, call it 350, $400 rolling through here. And then when this goes ahead and pops back up, you can enter here. Your stop is going to be 1 bar back, so it's actually going to be about right here. And it would have weathered this out, and you would have got that, so it's another 140. So now you're up to close to your $500 mark right here, and it's 1900, so that would be in 1 hour trading, you've hit your $500 mark and you're done. Now, what I tell people is if you are looking to make more money, what you want to do is start off small, and you want to get consistent on your trading. Once you get consistent on your trading, then you can add more contracts and be done at the same time. So right here, this one, it pulled back and went up. So you're thinking to yourself, how could I get more money out of here? You know, what can we do? So what we do is we add the boss strategy, or the boss indicator, sorry. And we change this to a 1.5. Now when we do that, it's putting more on the chart as far as this line, and it changes the colors of your bars. So how can we use this now? So we're gonna leave these up. Let's see here. I'll tell you what I'll do is I will put this way up and this one way down, just so that we know that they are off of the shaker only. So all of these would be based off from just the shaker. So let's add some more trades in here. How can we trade this? What do we do? So once this goes up, if your boss is teal and you're crossing, that's a good sign to go ahead and go long. When this pulls back, we do not take the short, but we can take another one right here. So let's just go ahead and say that we took the max, which we wouldn't have got this, but I'm just going to show you. If you went for $100 every trade, you would have got your $100 right there. And then it pulls back down, and then we enter again, and our max again is 220. Again, you would not get the max because we never know where the top is. You'll never know. And then when you come down, usually if you after the second one, we try not to take the third because the third is usually a dud. So here's your first. I'm sorry. After your second pullback. So here's your first entry, your pullback. There's your second entry, your pullback, and here's your third entry. But this is going to be based on the second entry for this over here. So because you have a pullback, and then when you get a third pullback, it's usually not good. But I'm going to show you something else that will help you. You got a high right here, and you got these. None of these broke this high here. So if we hold this straight across, you're going to see that we never broke it. If this one broke it and then pulled back, and then it went up and this one broke the high of this one, I would take the next one. But see how we're making lower highs? That's a good indication that you are going to pull back. On the shaker, normally, when it is coming like this, when it's in this dip right here, you will notice a lot of chop come through here. So we're looking to take fast profit. So on this one, because we never broke the highs here, it's not a good idea to take these longs over in here. Matter of fact, this one here would have been, we had a lower high right here, or a lower low, and we had a lower high. This one is even risky to take it because we never made higher highs. Our trend is not actually going up. So with it not going up, this one is actually a risky one. I would take this one, and I would take this one. When this one pulled all the way down, this would be a risky one. It played out, but honestly, it is risky because we never made higher highs. So if you look back at your candles, you can see that. Now we do have an indicator. I don't use it because it puts too much on the chart, but it's a swing indicator. This swing indicator will put the levels on here so you can actually see visually where your higher highs and higher lows are. So this will kind of help you out as far as your trading. If you can't look back and see that, this will help you. So I don't like to use that personally because it's just too much on the chart. It doesn't help me because I can look back and see it. But if you can't, there's an indicator that we supply that will allow you to use it. So on this one, where we're making our lower highs, you don't want to take it. You don't want to take it. And when this comes down, since we're making all lower highs, we would want to take this shaker indicator, or the shaker trade right here. So that would be our first short out. Now when it comes back up, we are looking, since this is gold right here, but it's still going in an up channel. So we are actually going up. So with it going up, this is one that you can decide whether you should take or not. It depends on, since we haven't made a higher low here, we went up through here, this would be our next higher low. I would be looking more to take this long here, even though it was a loser. I would have taken this long right here, but since we're still coming down and this come down and it couldn't push through and make a higher high here, you take your short coming down to the money line. This one right here is one that I probably would not have taken. It played out, but I probably would not have taken it based on how the levels are going here. You remember when I told you that when the shaker comes down and it starts curling up, but look how it's kind of going sideways. All of these lines right here are going sideways. When that's happening, you're probably better off not to even trade a lot of times because it'll get you hurt sometimes in the trades. So on this one, if you did take it, you would have paid off. And when this comes down, right here will be our next entry. So let's just say that we bought right here. What we're looking for is to try to get that level right here. And then our stop is going to be right here. If this comes back, and hits this target right here, or the stop, then we lost money. And you're not going to win every trade. There is risk with every trade that you take, but what you have to do is make your risk reward worth it. This one right here, we broke this high, correct? So since we have broken this high, and we made a new low here, or a new high there, and this one coming down, and we've got a level right here, and then we've got this level here. So for me, this is a good trade. Even if it pulls back, it's still a good trade to take. When this goes up and pulls back almost to the shaker, it will usually go ahead and take off. So I'm going to show you some other things on here that'll kind of help you. We have one called the SPY Money Fibonacci Retracement. You click the last leg. So like this one here is a leg pullback, and once it pulls back, before it does, once this turns white, you can go ahead and come down here, and this will draw a shaded area of where the pullback is probably going to go, and look what happened. It came right here. Once you get here, and then it reverses, and then you have another color change right here on the boss, then you can go ahead and turn this, and this right here is the next battle zone with the possibility of going all the way up here. Now if we look back at the very beginning, we can see this is the open, and it just dropped. It was a gap down. Sometime tonight, we're going to fill this gap right here. So as far as right here, sometime tonight, we will come back up to this. And it may keep on going, but it will fill this gap because there's orders in here that the market wants. So right now what we're looking for higher highs, higher lows in order to go long. And if we're wanting to go short, we're looking for lower lows and lower highs. If we look at the shaker is going to give you that indication of what we should be doing because it is a trend indicator. So as long as this is gold, we're looking to take shorts. If it is blue, we're looking to take longs. So let's go ahead and go back over to today and just see how it traded. So let me go back. And actually, you're not going to be a 10 bar. You're going to be probably a 15 bar on the U.S. Open. Most of us do not trade the U.S. Open. Most of us trade London. We have one person that trades the U.S. Open, or not the U.S. Open, but he trades the U.S. market. Usually about 10:30 he starts. He trades micros, and I'm going to show you this. It's just killer. He averages about $500 an account. I think he's got 17 or 18 accounts that he trades, and they're all live accounts, all PA accounts, and he's averaging $400 to $600 per account on micros. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen anybody trade micros and make that kind of money. So let's go ahead and just look at how this traded. So from 9:30 this morning, a lot of people like to trade the open. We don't. That's up to you. But let's just say you did. On this particular one, you would have entered right here, and right there's your money line. There's 155. You would have entered here again, and your stop out would have been your pullback there. It's 170. If you did trade down to the zone area, that's a little more money, but let's just say it's 170. Remember this, 1, 2, we usually don't take the third, and this one just didn't work out. When we pull back up to it, and then it starts coming down, I would have taken this one, and it would have been a loser, but I would have taken this because when this is going up and back down, the shaker, you will a lot of times get priced to come back to it, and then it will sell off. So even though this was a loser, that it was a good trade, but we're still money ahead. This one we're up $325, and then we're going to lose probably 100. So Right there's 225. And then when this goes up, we are going to be looking for the money line. So there's $200. That's the first trade. Here's the second trade. This one did not work out, but see where we didn't break? We would have ended up being about a break-even trade here because we keep our stops tight. Again, I don't trade the US Open though. This is why. We pull back down to it. Once we pull back down into it, but the shaker's going up. So if the shaker's going up, we don't want to take these shorts, right? We only want to take the longs. So this one right here, we didn't quite make it to the money line, but the max you could have got would have been more than 45. This one I would not have taken. It pulls back up into it when this is turning brown and you can see it starting to turn. I would have been looking to take the short. Right here is 130 if we go to the money line. But if we chased it with our candles, we'd actually been about the same because my stop would have been right here. So there's 135. So me personally, I would have stopped out here. Some people might have got the whole profit. If you would have, 325. And you'd be done. You wouldn't have to trade anymore. You would not be taking this one because we are brown. And then we've got 1, 2, so we would not be looking to take the third one. Here's our first entry, here's our second entry. We do not take that one. It pulls back. We don't go through. Since this is coming down, we don't take this long because it could very easily touch the shaker and come down, which it did. So we would take this one. Our money line is right here for $105. You don't have to make a lot of money on each trade. You just have to make money, and you have to remember that. So I'm going to cancel this out, and I'm going to add something to it to help you with knowing where to trade to, because we've taught you how to get the entry, but how do you exit? Where do you go? The money line is one way, but we have levels, and I want to show you the levels. And we trade levels on everything. So we have 4 trader pivots. I want to show you that first. And then when we add that, you can see right here, this is our pivot. Let me go back over. We got the R3, which is where that is. And we've got R4, R2, R1. So that's going to be where our supply areas are. These blue lines here, these are supply. And then when we come down here to the red, we have the demand area. This is where all the buyers are. This is where all the sellers are. So if you notice just get something here, we went right up into it. We pulled down, went up, started pulling down, didn't come all the way down to it, and then pushed up. So we use floor trader pivots. Those will help you know where price is probably going to go. And like tonight, we have, right here's our main pivot, the PO. More than likely, this will probably come down and touch this at some point tonight. It may be after this goes up and then comes down to it, or it may come down to it and then fill the gap. Both of these will happen sometime tonight. Only thing we can do is go by our shaker. It's telling us to take longs only right now. That's all it's doing. So we want to take longs, and that's all. So let's add one more thing here. I'm going to add 2 more, but let's add 1 more. And this is called the balance. The balance is a proprietary indicator with SPY money. Now this one, we come back over to the US Open. I'm going to show you another strategy after this. We do 2 strategies for the most part. 2 main ones, but there's a lot of strategies. And some people use different time frames than I do as well. But this is the SPY money balance. If we open above it, it's probably going to be long bias. Today, that's what happened. It was long all day. So when we look back over here, we see our balance is here, and it went all the way up. Now we also have take profit levels. So these take profit levels are red lines. So when we opened, a lot of times it will pull all the way back. But if you're in a trade, instead of, like, say for instance this one here, just a good example. If you're in a trade off of this level here, So let's just say you got in right here. Instead of taking it there, why not take it here? We always go just a few ticks under because it may not go past. So there's 275. Now, when this comes up and back into the teal line, we don't enter on a level. Oops, sorry. We don't enter on a level. So this one earlier would have been a bad trade, but because we now have this level, we would not have entered here because it's too close to here. We need to see it go up, pull back, and then when it starts reversing, then we take that trade away from it. We don't trade at the level, we trade to it or away from it. That's how we trade. So this one would have saved us because we are at this level. We would not have taken this trade. So that's what we use those indicators for. We trade to them, we trade away from them, but we don't trade at them, and it will eliminate a lot of bad trades, like right here. This went up, we have room here to make money. So our risk reward, we would take this one. There's $80. $80 times 10 times a day is $800. You shouldn't be trading that much, but there's a lot of money right there. Now, when this starts coming down and we're trading away from that level and we get in here, that is a good sign to go ahead and take this because we're coming away from this level and we have our next level here. So would we have held in all of this? Probably not. But we could have traded when it broke right here, and the max you could have got was 180. You more than likely would have stopped out right here for $100. Now it depends on how many contracts you're trading to. If you're trading 5, then there's going to be $500. This one right here, you would be trading this, and we would be looking for this level is our main place, and we've also got our money line. So right along through here is where our focus would be, but what we would be doing is just trading it behind the candles. And again, we would have made about the same amount of money right there, because right here I would have been stopped out on this wick. You could hold it just above it if you want, and you could have got more, but you don't know. What we want to do is get as much money as we can every time that we trade. That's our goal. So we come back over. We've got these two levels. We've got our pivots, and we've got the balance. Let's add one more. These are my personal levels. What I do is go back and pick out the levels. I put them on my server, and this indicator, oops, that's the wrong one. You don't even know about that one yet. This one will pick out the levels and show you a lot more places. Now we see the purple. These purple lines are my personal levels. So you come through, you can see a lot of them. And those personal levels that I picked, you can see how price interacts with that. And we come back over. Just right up in here, you have these levels here, and we come right down and start playing right on through here. Now this level is not an exact level as well as the balance is not, but these levels are something you want to go by. This one here went up real close, pulled down, we went right into it, and now we start playing through there. If you have levels on your chart, you'll be able to trade better because you'll know where price is going. Look how that one hit right to the tick and bounced out. And then you just kept on playing right into this level. So if you know this level's here, then you know how to play it. It'll help you out. And right now, these levels, it doesn't matter what market you're in. Now the balance only works in the London and the US Open. It won't work in the Asian market. Right now we can see that these levels, how it's just kind of going sideways. Our shaker's kind of going, trying to turn up, but we do have these longs right here. So on this one right here, if we entered, and I don't know what happened to that trade, but if we enter here, because I have a stop down there, I don't know how it got out. I must have clicked it by accident. But on this one, we should be going up. And what we're looking for is our current session high right now, which was made at 4 minutes past the open. So this is going to be a strong area. See how it went up, went up, went up, went up. But now we're making higher lows. And if we're making higher lows and higher highs, more than likely this one is going to push right on up. This may be the one that pushes all the way up to here. You never know. But this level right here is what we're looking for. But we are going to have a gap fill first. This is our previous session close. So all of these levels come to play when you're trading. The main thing you need to know is how to enter, number one. And the number two is where do you exit. You have to know how to move your stops, which we went over. And what I do is just candle chase. Like here, if I would have entered right here, right now, with that being the current bar, my stop would be right here. That's where my stop would be. Now, I would have entered down here, and my stop would be right where it is now. And then as this goes up, as price pushes up, then we would go ahead and grab our stop and have it in our hand and have it ready. Now, if it's moving real slow, you don't necessarily have to have it in your hand, but even when it's moving real slow, a lot of times you will get a volume push right on up. Now, see how this is at the session open, current session open? This is a good indication not to trade at that level. Remember when we were talking about not trading at a level? Well, this is one of those levels where a while ago we never noticed that this was a level because we didn't have it on. Having the levels automatic indicator on there, this pops it up to let you know where our levels are. So if we're to enter at a level, we don't enter. We just wait. So this one right here is a stop out, mainly because there's a lot of institutions that are playing right here. They may just walk this back and forth. What we want to do is wait for it to break out, pull back to it, and then we want to get in the next one based on these levels. Any questions on this strategy? This is called the Shaker Boss strategy. Shaker Boss. In the morning time, like the London or even the evening, we don't trade the 10 money bar, SPY money bar. We usually, or I'm sorry, the 15. We usually trade an 8 or a 10. How do you know what time frame to trade? Well, what we do is we just look at the last hour. So let's just say that, like in the morning, I like to trade somewhere around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. So let's just say 5 o'clock's right here. So let's just say we don't know what's going on, and there's 5. So what I will do is I will switch time frames, and I will look and see, are there any decent trades in here that I can take? Now looking at this one right here, it's a little bit choppy through there. So if you wanted, you can go ahead and increase this or decrease it. If it's real choppy in here and you're looking to try to make $50, you can go to an 8 bar. So if you go to an 8 bar, so there's 5. So there are trades in here that you can take. Just because the market's not moving much doesn't mean that you can't get trades. Like this one here, right there would be an entry. The most you could have got is $80. I take $80. Remember when I told you about the SPY money bar? If it's an 8, you add a 0, there's $80. So you're looking for anywhere from $60 to $100 is what you're looking for. We enter again right here. There's $90. We enter again right here, and there's 125. Why would I keep on entering all these trades? This one would be our first entry, right? And this one right here would have been a loser. I didn't see that, but this would have been a loser if we'd got in. But when it pushed up to their shaker, we're looking to take that next short. We pushed up again. Up here's a level. We didn't break through. We got 2 levels, and we want to trade away from the level. What's the best time of day for this strategy? It actually works any time of day. It's just a matter of changing your time frame. When you change your time frame, it will change the look and feel, and that's what we're going over right now. So I usually don't trade an 8. I like a 10. That's usually what I trade in the London. So we go back and look at this. And the reason I say 5 is I'm usually up somewhere around 5 in the morning. This morning I woke up at 3 and I wanted to get up and trade, but I just stayed in bed. And matter of fact, I ended up not getting up till about 6:30. I'm retired. I do this as a hobby more than anything as far as helping people. And what I do is whenever I make all this, I use it for myself. and I want to help other people learn how to trade. And so that's how Spy Money was born. So I am retired. I have other businesses, mainly real estate, that I work with, and this is just something that I do to help people. Yes, I do make money with it, and I should. It costs me a lot of money to have the website, the programmer. I got full-time people work for me to develop all this. Um, so on this one, we changed over to 10. So right here would be my entry. That's what I'll be looking for. Even right here, one of the two, both of them would have still played out. Right there, if we stay down to there, there's 110. And then if we got in here, honestly, if it were me, if this went up and come down, I would be looking to go in here and put my stop right above it. If it gets stopped out, so be it. But I would have on this wick, that tells me the sellers are pushing it down, and I would enter here and not even wait on the boss. So right there's 145, but I could have played it right to the money line. We go up, we see this one here. I would again enter right there, and the most that you could have got would be 180. What time, London time, do most typically trade? Let's see, what's that? I'm trying to read that question. Blank to contract job. I to a contract job in Poland for a year, arriving May 2nd. What time, London time? I tell you, a lot of people trade like 2:30 to 4. They trade around the London Open, and we have people that are all, like I said, all across the world. And I wish that my time was awake at London time, because it would sure help, because that's where all the money is. Not every day, but probably 90% of the time you can make more money during London than you can anytime. I like to trade. I like to have my trading done before 6 in the morning, or 7. So, but if you can get up and trade the London, you may have a bad day and just not mean movement. It does happen. But more than likely, you can trade about 30 minutes on the London session and be done. And when I say London, London opens at 3 in the morning Eastern time, and then the U.S. opens at 9:30. So I like to have everything done before the news. The news usually comes out at 8:30. So I like to trade somewhere between 3 and 8:30. I typically trade usually somewhere between 5 and 7 a.m. Between 5 and 7 is usually when I trade, because that's when I'm up, and then I can get done all my trades done, get my money up, and then I can go live life, as I tell everybody in the Discord. Go live life. The reason you're trading is to make money to live life. So it's not about trading all day and sitting in front of a computer and trying to make $1 million in a day. Usually when you do that, you're going to lose money. Just go in, hit your daily goals, and then go live life. If you lose money, let's say your goal is to make 500 a day, you shouldn't lose more than 500 a day. You lose 500, go over to Sim, figure out what you're doing, maybe come back later in the afternoon, take one trade. If you lose on that trade, quit. But if you don't lose, then take another one and just keep doing it until you have a losing trade or hit your goal. That's what I recommend to everybody. I usually make my daily profit goal before 8 a.m., yes, Eastern time. When it comes after 8 o'clock, then you're starting to get into the news and stuff. So any questions on this strategy of how this works? Now, once you get into the Ninja Suite and get these indicators and so forth, there's other videos, and you keep watching, practicing. So let's go ahead and move on to another one. This is probably the #1 strategy in our group. It's called the Trender strategy. And the Trender strategy is, actually this one, I got the wrong one on there. Template load, and all of these in here will come with your let me see here. Lose trender. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so some people use the shaker and some don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shaker out. The shaker, you already know how to use it, and it's mainly for let me take out the levels too, and we can add those in. There we go. So what we're looking at are, there's two different trend or indicators on here. One is when, like this teal line and this white line, when the bars come down and cross over this white line, that is one trade. This is probably the easiest trade that you'll ever take. So right here would be a trade. And then when it comes back up and breaks through, right there's another trade. And then you would take another trade right here. And you would take another trade right here. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't take some of these trades. But this one here would be there. And this one would be to here. I'm just showing you the trades of what you can do. Okay, now this is starting, actually this is, I'll go ahead and mark out the rest of the day here. Actually, that's not one there. Yeah, it is too. Let's see it right there. And so that's where it dropped, and then we come up, the max you get here. So these are the max trades that you can get, and there's more over here. So these are the trades you would make. Realistically, you would not make all of this money because you can't get the high. You're going to make, based on this, you're probably going to make about 75% of what that money is. So if it said $100 you made, you're probably going to make about $75 if you play it by the rules. It depends on where your entry is, how quick it's moving. Sometimes it's moving fast. You don't get an exact entry. It might be a little higher. If you miss the entry 3 or 4 bars, you're better off just to wait for the pullback and then take the next one. And we're going to discuss that, how that would work. So on these, the only thing you're doing is looking for the cross of this trender, this teal line right here. When it closes over it, you want to take the long, and when it closes under it, you want to take the short. And that's all there is to it. It's real easy. We do have a bot that will trade this. We have a bot that will trade the shaker boss strategy too. Actually, it won't trade the shaker; it'll trade the boss part. It uses the shaker as the filter. But on this one, it will trade this exact strategy that we're going to talk about. You can turn the bot on and just let it run, and it will take all the entries, and then you can manage it. I always recommend you manage a bot because your stops and your profit targets should be based off of levels, not off of thin air. I mean, this up in here, we don't even know what's up here. We don't have any levels on here or nothing. So if you entered right here, where are you going to take profit? You need to know where levels are in order to know what to do. Now, when you see that the trender is going straight across here and straight across here, if you do take the trade, you need to make sure your stops are tight because you may not, you may be in chop, and that's what's going on right here. But see how the trender started stepping down? Well, that is a breakout. So whenever it breaks out, that's when you can start trading again. And there's 2 ways to trade this. You can trade at just the trender by itself with no filters at all, nothing on there. And, just kind of look at for the higher highs and higher lows. Maybe that's where you trade. But the trender will typically, if it breaks it, you'll usually be able to get about 5 points every time this does it based on, depends on your time frame that you're using. But for the most part, you will usually get about 5 points or so, and that will help you out. So if you just look to get $100 every time, so here's 1, didn't get it there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of them, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 of them that didn't hit it, but you wouldn't have lost money. You just wouldn't have made the 100. You would have just probably broke even or a little more. So there's $800 right here tonight that you could have made on the winners, and then your losers, there's only This one right here would have probably been a loser, and this one would have been a loser. So there's two of them that would have been losers. The rest of them would have been break-evens. So if you had $600, and let's just say that you lost $100. So if you're doing a risk to reward of 1-to-1, so you make 100 or lose 100, so you bet $600 taking all these trades. Now you would have some commission in there. Was it $4 a contract? So you'd have some commissions in there. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 trades if you just took this alone and took every single trade that it took. Now you're not going to take every single trade because you got to have some filters in there to know direction, and we're going to get into that. You're also going to know levels. So if you're entering a trade at a level, we're not going to do that because we trade away from or to a level, but we don't trade at a level. Remember that. Even if you don't use the Ninja Suite, if you use any kind of other indicator or something you've got, don't trade at that level. You just want to trade away from it or to it. Your levels are where you take profit. Think of it that way. Take profit, or just take profit. Your levels, you want to take profit, not enter trades. A lot of people take a breakout strategy. If it breaks the previous low, they want to enter, like right here. Entry would be here, you'd be stopped out. Enter right here, you'd be good. You come down, this is a high, we break this right here, you would have stopped out here. So trading breakouts is not exactly good, and the institutions know what you're doing. They're watching. This one right here, we have lower highs, right? So this would give me a good reason to take this trade here. So let's go back and look at some trades that we had. This one ended up breaking this low. This is one I would have taken. And the reason I would is because I would think it's coming back down to here and retest this to go up. So this is the loser, but it's one I would have entered. This one right here, I would have entered because it dropped that much. It's probably going to run up. And then when this pulled back, it's a lower low. When this enters up here, you can take it, put you a tight stop. And then when we broke this right here, I would be looking for longs only. So when this pulls back, I would not be looking to take shorts here. I would be looking, because we made this higher high, I would be looking to take these longs right here. So the way we have it right now is we have two trenders. And I probably should have taken that off, but it don't matter. These white bars here, that's on the second trender. We have a second entry is what we call it. So when this goes up and pulls back and it don't break this level, we would actually take this second one right here. So when this pushed up and then it pulled down and then went right back up, we would be looking to take this long right here. And when it come down and touched and we made this higher high, right, or higher low, and we didn't break this trender, we would be looking to take the long right here. So on this one, we would have made another, we got our $100, yeah. Because we're on a 10 SPY mini bar. We're looking for $75 to $100 on a 10. That's a good place to be. Brad, are the entries done manually or through bot? It can do both. The bot can do this or manual. So this right here is the trender bot, and we can turn it on. And what we would do is just go into our strategies, click on here, and then click on trender. And right in here is where your settings are. I have those listed in order to put these on. And you come down, there's a lot of filters you can do. You can pick wherever stop and everything you want, so all that's there. I'm not going to go over how to set up a bot tonight, but I'll show you what it looks like, but we're not going to set one up. It takes too long to go over all that. The main thing is I want to teach you all how you can trade, how you can make some money, and how you can change your life. I mean, that's what we're all here to learn, how to make money, right? Again, see how this is going sideways here and this is going sideways? Wait for a breakout. So when we broke out, when this was going sideways here, but our bars are way down, I'm looking to take that long. And see how this starts stair-stepping? I'm looking to take this short. And then when it comes back up, this one right here will be up to you, but with it going sideways, maybe you don't take it. When it's going sideways like that, it's not always good to take the short or long, because this sideways trender is showing chop. Now let's go ahead and go back to like during the day. Now we would not be, let me change this to a 15, because we don't trade a 10 during the US market. So let's just take this one. When we look at this, we can see that the market is moving a lot better. When you get the whipsaw of the NQ, you're going to make more money as far as with the trender. So on this one, from here down to here is 495. From right here to here is 1,065. This one, you start stacking, you would have had a small loss break even, or a small loss. One of the two. Something would have happened here, but when your bars are stacking, you get out. So when this starts pushing up, and then it turns white again, you take it again. There's 750. If you missed it here, you'd get it here. If you missed it there, you would have got it here. Either way, you would have made money on this trade, no matter which three you got. This one right here, when it comes down and breaks, you take this one, there's 310. This one comes up. When it touches up into here and starts coming down, I would be looking to go here. The most you got was 115. Honestly, you probably would have broke even in here. And then when you broke through, you would take that long. When the trend is going up like this, a lot of times you're better off not to even take these, even though there's some good trades in here. When the trend is just, going straight up, you're better off just to stick to your longs. Would you use a balance indicator or level indicator with trader? I use both, and we're going to get to that, because we need to know where to take profit. Right now, we don't know. We just know that it's going up to the the black hole up here. We don't know what's up here. Where do you take profit in here? If it's shorting, where do you take it? Where's your levels? You have to know levels in order to do it. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and add the balance. Now we know what's going on. When we enter down here, we might have taken profit right here. Or we may have just went ahead and trail stopped it right here. Maybe you took the profit there, and then when it pulled back again, then we got this teal. Open that where you can see it. This would be another entry right here. We pulled back into the TP1, we had the teal, and then went back to white, and then we take it. And I've got these backward, by the way. Let me change that. Let's see here. Trender, Marcel, let's see, that's on, yeah. This should actually be white and teal. It's going to mess up the people in our group. Right here is the way it should look. But when you see the teals are our longs and our whites are our shorts. That's why we have it in our training videos. So sorry about that, guys, for the ones that knew. But what we're looking for is on these teals, we want to take these longs. And then when it pulls back, has a change of color, then we want to take the next one. So realistically, this one right here, we would be looking to take profit around through there. That's 190. That's a realistic trade right here. And then right here, we would be looking to take this one, and let me put this in here so I can save it. We would be looking to take profit up here. But realistically, I would have been stopped out right here for 505. So there's roughly $700, give or take. Depends on your entry and stuff. There's $700. The first trade was at 10 o'clock, 10:03, and we exited at 10:15. So in a matter of about 12 minutes, you've got about $700. Give or take. I mean, I'm just ballparking the numbers. If you trade this in the morning time, let's say you go to the London. When's most people trade in here in our group right now? Type in when do you like to trade. You like the U.S. market, the London, Asia, or a time frame that you like? Tell me in Eastern time so don't mess me up. When do you like to trade? I like to trade the London market because it's easier. It's a little bit slower, but it gives you time to think and to be able to get in the trades. When you are pulling back like this, we're looking to take our shorts only. That's what we're looking to take. it's obvious this come down when it pulled back. This one right here, I probably would have had a bad trade here because I would be looking to take profit here. You're on the West Coast, so after the open, so you're looking U.S. market. So each trade you make would be multiplied by however many contracts you have. Exactly. Zach, if you want to, if you could trade 10 contracts at a time, but you got to remember is 10 times a bad trade too. So what I typically trade is usually 2 to 8 contracts. I usually go in twos, and I've got an ATM strategy over here that I usually use, and I will pick the 30 stop loss, 100 take profit, and 2 contracts. That is usually my ATM strategy I'm using. Why do I put 100 on a 30 and 100? A 30 is just to get the stop down here out of the way, and a 100 is to get the profit target up here out of the way. As soon as I enter a trade, I move my stop up where I want it, and then my take profit, I will usually move it to a level. That's usually what I do. Why are there 2 trenders on the chart? We have 2 different entries that we're using. So what we're doing is, come back over so I can see some trades. Right here's pretty good. If you entered down in here, or even here, once you enter this, unless it breaks this white line, you're not going to make another trade if you're using one trender. But we use a different trender with a different setting so that when we get this white and then we get the next teal, we will enter another trade here. So you wouldn't, if you're going to enter down here and take this one for whatever, say you took it to right there, well, when it pulls back and turns white, this will give you another opportunity to make some more money here. And this one will give you some more money, opportunity to make money there. You may not stay in this whole thing, or you may be one of those people, I'm not, that would just trade it all the way to right here. There's 740. That's not me. I don't trade that way. I'm looking to come in and just get some quick scalps, make some money, add the contracts to it, and just make the money. That's okay. You're welcome. So we're using 2 different trenders on here. One is the lines, and one is the color of the bar. And that way we can actually make a couple different trades and get in here. So one person said they like to trade, they're on the West Coast, so they like to trade during this time. So how would you do it? I personally would wait 5 minutes at least after the US Open, because usually at first 5 minutes it can really take off and it's hard to get your entries right. But like right here is 5:30, so, or 9:30. Here would be your first entry. There's $100. You probably would have stopped out on this or broke even. Probably a broke even trade because your stop would have been right here. So you would have broke even on this one, and when it come back down, it would be dependent on if you entered this one or not. And then when it goes back up, I mean, you're kind of going in an uptrend, so I wouldn't be looking to take those shorts. But if you did, your stop would be right up here. You'd lose $90. Your entry would be here, and I would be looking to take profit on that one, so it's $350. So you're going to be roughly, these 2 right here are probably going to cancel each other out. So you're going to be up about $350. This one here I would not enter because it's too close. If you would have, the most you could have made is $170, but it's too close to this level. We hit it, we pull back. I don't like to trade at that level. I will wait. And when this pulls back and comes back up here, I will not take this one either because it's too close. If this had went up, pulled back to here, and then turned teal here, I would have taken it. I would have done it. Now this one right here, we're coming, we hit the level, went up, 3rd time. I may go ahead and just go ahead and enter right here and put my stop right there. If it goes up and hits it, it's a bad trade. But if it doesn't, you've got this right here. And then when it goes up, you can hit this one right here. So if you played off of this level, that will help you. As far as the trend or strategy itself, you wouldn't have taken any of these trades right here that we just took. This one, you would have entered right here, and you would have been stopped out, lost 100. And then when this come back down, you wouldn't be taking this until it broke down here again, which would give you this one here. And then this one here you would take. But when this went up and broke this high, we would not be looking to take this one. It's starting to go sideways, so we wouldn't be taking it. You can't take every single trade because you'll lose money. You can't do it. You've got to kind of look and see where your higher highs and higher lows, and then based on your trender. When you see this line, what did I tell you all about this line when it's going sideways? What should you probably do? You should just go ahead and stay it out. Probably not trade it. And then when this went up and we broke this high and we pulled back, I would be looking to take this long. And I would be looking to take it to right there. So this long would have actually been right here, and right there is 220. And then when this come down and we are pushing down through here, we're pushing away from this level and we broke, we take it. And it depends on wherever your profit target is. The max you could have got is 485. Would I take this one here? I would have. And mainly because we're far enough away from this level. We come down, we pushed up, we had a flat or a double bottom right here. That's a good indication it's going up. So would I wait to here or not? I don't know. I might have even taken the trade here. But the strategy would be to here. And to right there would be 145. So you would have not got stopped out if you're based on the 30. And right there's where I would be looking to take profit. So it's 185. 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and you would have made money. This one here, you go up, you pull back, you've got your white. You turn teal again, you're bouncing off this level. I'm looking to take profit up here. So realistically, when this pushes up, pulls down, and goes up, I'm probably going to stop out there for $500. And then when we have all of these going sideways, I might have entered a short here, but probably not, because looking at this, it looks like it's probably going to push right back up to this level. You know, when we get this close to a level, it will usually kind of pull back and then push right on up in it. So, and especially if you entered here, you start stacking, you'd have been a break-even trade. We don't even trade here. We wait for the breakout, which would be right here. It pulls back, we can get in right here. We would be taking these long. That's what we would be doing. So if we go back to our templates, we load this one. And one thing I didn't show you all yet, you ever be a trading and you have all your news events written down and such, and you forget it. You're in a trade and you lose track of your time, and you are in a trade and all of a sudden the news comes out and it goes wild. You lose a lot of money, or maybe you make a lot of money, and it's all because you lost track of time. So what we have is this news alert. It's an indicator that you put on the chart. And let me take everything off just so you can focus on this. All this is news. So if we go back today, look at the news that we had this morning. The green is minor news. And actually this is the natural gas every Thursday at 10:30. And this is pending home sales. When it's orange like that, that is a little more serious news, and usually you will get some volume out of it. When it's red, that's extreme. When it's red, you probably ought to not be in a trade. Actually, you shouldn't be in any trade during a news event because anything can happen. It can cost you a lot of money, or it can make you a lot of money. So it just kind of depends on what you want to do. I don't trade at the news typically. Sometimes I will. If like this right here is kind of going down. If we go back and look, this pushed up and started pushing down. Yeah, maybe I got in a long or short here based on what knowledge I knew of something. But like on this one, if it's pushing up like this, usually it will pull back. So when this went up and right before the news, you got in a short, maybe you made some money here, maybe you didn't. But there's a video on YouTube showing where I was trading news events one day. I don't always do it. This one here, when we got the news, went up. When you got pulled back, you can get in and ride that all day. And I don't know if anybody did, but if you did, you got back in and just rode this to the top, which we know we wouldn't have done, it's $4,800. But when you're in this trend, you just want to start taking the longs only. You don't want to take the shorts. Just wait. So you have any questions on this? Anybody have any questions on it? Okay, I'm going to ask Brad T. He's a new user, and I've talked to him for a while before he even joined, and him and his wife discussed it. I want him to be able to tell you what his experience is with spy money and how it's helped him or not helped or whichever. Brad T, if you can turn your mic on. It's a little red microphone beside your name there. It's on that little screen.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Brad, thank you. So Brad, how
Yeah,
long
glad
you
to be
been
here.
with us?
This will be my second week.
Second week. How long before you signed up that you were thinking about it, watching YouTube videos or whichever, before you signed up with us?
It took me about 2 days, 2
2 days?
to 3 days, I think.
Okay. So a few days you found me, and what was you looking for? Tell me a little bit about your past history without too many details.
Well, been trading for a long time, mostly options, and have lost a lot of money doing that. Got tired of that, and I'd found a prop fund firm, and I was using their software, but didn't like how it worked. Pretty difficult and didn't seem to be working well for me. And I saw Spy Money, and what I was looking for was the bots because I was kind of interested in that and how they worked. But once I took a look at all the videos and all the data on the website, I really liked how the indicators were put together. And I'd watched multiple YouTube videos about it. And I bought the package on a Saturday afternoon and spent the next 3 days nonstop learning everything I could and setting it up. And this has been the first full week I've really traded with it. I'm working on my demo accounts. I actually salvaged 5 of my demo accounts this week,
Great.
and I now have a total of 15 demo accounts that are well on their way to qualification.
That is wonderful. That
And
is
I
great.
trade the trender setup exclusively right now.
That's what we're looking at right now. What strategies were you looking at before? How did you end up with the trender? What happened?
I just took a look at what was on the website and a couple of the videos once I signed up, and to me, it was very easy to understand. It was clean, and I could understand what the chart action was doing, and the entries are pretty cut and dried. Don't get greedy. Don't take the third trade. The first 2 are usually pretty good, and learn how to read the levels where you think it potentially could go, and then just manage your stops and your profits. Let them move. You'll be surprised how much you make. I've surprised myself this week. Monday, I had 1,400 in a day. I hit 1,000 this morning on one trade. Um, it just kind of blows me away.
Yeah, it works out really well. Well, I'm gonna pull this Discord over so y'all can see. This is my trading today, and this is the guy that does micros during the day, and his top one was $946. Bottom was 220. He's got slippage in here, but he's trading micros. And Mark, he did really well. Mark's been with me for a good while. He struggles sometimes because of his job and so forth, but he's doing pretty good. This is Air in our group. He just knocks it out of the park every day. And let's see here. I was going to go. Did you not post? You didn't post in here. I was looking for you. It's in the. Let me pull this over. It's in the live chat.
Yeah, I forgot. I need to start posting in the correct room.
Yeah, not everybody does. Yeah, you're still new, buddy. So let's go back over. I want to find you right here.
I
So
do
this,
look at them though because it's a confirmation to me that there's people that are doing this every day. And for myself, I'm doing this while I work. I still
yeah.
have a full-time job that I'm working.
Now we just had a question come up. It said, do you guys only trade NQ or do you trade ES as well? Tell us, Brad. Do you trade ES?
I trade ES, NQ, RTY, and gold. I trade all four. I
Okay.
look for the chart that's got the setup, and that's what I play.
So you've got all those pulled up on the charts and you just wait, and when you see the setup, you take it on that chart.
I've got Thinkorswim pulled up on another screen with 5 minute charts of all four of them.
Uh-huh.
And when I see some action, then I go to my SPY money chart and take a look and see if it's actually setting up. If it's not, I'm patient.
What have you learned about patience?
There's plenty of trades.
There you
If
go.
you miss a trade, like especially today, I got in ES. I hit that 500 on two contracts. I missed the second $500 move because I was flipped around working. I turned around and caught the third one, but they keep telling me not to take the third trade.
Yeah.
And then it set up for a fourth time. And overall, that move went $2,600 today.
Yeah, here's
But I
the
took a $500 bite out of it.
right here is some of the trades that you were posting. This is your actual trade where you got in and you sold right there.
Yep.
There's two contracts. $500 times two is $1,000 trade right there. And it looks like you played this one off of the level. This purple line is my personal levels that the indicator puts on
Yep.
your chart. So you saw the reversal coming off of there. You went ahead and hopped in. Right here is where the trender line. Actually, let me open this a little bigger. I can make this. Oops, that's the wrong one.
Yeah, that was a good setup. I'll be looking for them tomorrow.
Yeah, let me. I'll make this a little bigger so everybody can see it. So this red line is trender, and when it broke, your entry was spot on perfect. And whenever you entered it, you played it up and you candle chased all the way up. Because right here is one level that it would
Yep.
break. And what you do is you just, when it went above, you've been listening because I tell you, when it goes up and gets away from here, I tighten up my stop a lot and you got your $500. So this
That's
is your
exactly what I
trade
did.
today. Now this right
And I
here, the
like that.
red, go ahead.
That's the boss, right?
Uh, I don't know if this was the
That's the
bot.
boss indicator, isn't it?
Oh, the boss. Yeah, well, you've got the boss and the trender on here. The trender is this red line,
Yep.
and then this red and yellow or green dot is the boss.
I use that one as an early indicator to be prepared for the trender.
Yes.
So
But this was your trade
I'm
today.
enjoying it. I'm having a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Well, you've been doing real well. I'm real proud of you. And to be in this, what did you say? 2 weeks now?
2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, 2 weeks. And yesterday you made money too, right? Was it
Yes, I
yesterday?
did. I had about a $1,200 day yesterday.
Yeah, $1,200 keeps the doctor away. That keeps the job away anyway. That's great.
That's the plan.
So, David, the question you had was, do we trade NQ only? No. I trade ES and NQ mainly. We have some people who trade crude oil and so forth. I have the levels for crude oil. So if we go over to crude oil, there's some. I just don't trade crude oil. As you can see, it's not even on here. But if I do crude oil and I don't know what bars because I just don't trade it. I would say probably an 8 bar, but you can see the purple lines right here. That is the levels. So I do have the levels for it if you want to trade it, and it trades the same strategy. So anybody wants to trade crude oil, there's a lot of people that trade it. I've only traded it I think one time I made stupid money on it, and I don't know why. I just never went back to it. So that's for me. So you got anything else you want to add, Brad, or are you pretty happy with being where you are?
I'm very happy with it. I mean, I've spent a lot of money in the past. In the past 5 years, I'm kind of ashamed to say how much, to think of how much money I've spent. But, I looked at the price for this, and to me, it was cheap because in the first 3 days, I had my charts set up and semi working. And then the rest of last week was just getting used to them and seeing how they worked actually. But yeah, like I said, to be able to salvage 5 of my demo accounts from the grave and to see the rest of them steadily marching toward qualification, yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's
So,
a lot easier to do than I thought it would be.
well, that's good. What about when you first signed up, the process of doing everything? I mean, was the website, did it, and tell me the truth. I mean, don't sugarcoat it, but
Yeah,
was it simple to get started? Was it hard? Um, I know
no,
that you,
it was insanely easy. I
well,
mean, go sign up, get your email, and you're into the back office immediately. I was really impressed.
so what about the tutorials and such with the videos of the indicators, bots, so forth? I mean, how have you been able to use that? Has it been helpful? Has it been hard?
No, it's been very helpful. I mean, there's a lot of data in there, but the key thing I would tell people is not to go in and try to learn everything at one time. Go in and, I mean, if you liked what you saw tonight on the trender, go in and learn the trender setup, learn how it works, and start making money with it first. And then as you're doing that, you can start adding other indicators to it or working the trender bot or expanding your arsenal. But you don't have to learn it all at one shot.
Right. And that's what I tell
That's
everybody. As soon as they sign up, I try to get them on one strategy and just say, learn this, go to the live stream videos on this, skip the rest of the stuff, because it's overwhelming. There's a lot of information on our back end. And what I try to do is get people to one strategy, and I usually tell them right now, I'm telling them the shaker boss and the trender, and pick one or the
mm,
other, and maybe you look at both of them and say, well, this one looks easier for me because maybe the shaker boss is easier for one and not the other. But it seems like the majority of the people in our group will use the trender or sweet scalper. That's the two that we're using. And using the boss as a filter, but using the trender mainly for their strategy. That's what it seems like is what people are using right now. We do have a boss bot, we do have a trender bot, and we do have a sweet scalper bot. But to turn a bot on, I want everybody to understand this. If you turn a bot on and think you're going to go to the mall or go to work or whatever and come back and be a millionaire, you are sadly mistaken because you will lose your butt. I don't care what company it is, if you turn a bot on, just let it run. It is very dangerous. You like if you use a funded account, you get errors quite often that has nothing to do with me or NinjaTrader, but it's just their system, and it will sometimes go wrong on you. If you're using a live account, it's better, but NinjaTrader still does have issues, and if you have internet issues or anything, there's things that can happen. So I always tell people to run the bots attended, not unattended. You always want to be there. What we mainly use the bots for is an entry. And then once you get your entry, then you go ahead and move your stops and profit targets to the levels and chase candles and such. The bot will do all of that except for the levels. It does not know where the levels are. So you would have to change your profit target to those levels. Now, one question we have here is, does the bots and indicators work with Thinkorswim? No. It only works with NinjaTrader. That's it. Are the trades done manually? We can do manually or we can do bots. Um, so you can do both of those. So to recap, Brad, you looked at it 2 or 3 days before. I know I talked to you on the phone before you even signed up. which if you
Yeah,
have questions, you're unsure, I can try to schedule a time with you and talk to you. The one thing I do not do, and um, I have a lot of videos on the website. Those videos, if you watch them, they will tell you 99.9% of your questions will be answered there. I do
that's
not
right.
do one-on-one with people. That's not to say I haven't, and that's not to say I won't in the future. But when you lease the Ninja Suite, we do this as a group. We do live trainings. I don't do them every day. I do them sometimes a couple weeks, sometimes not even any for the week. But there's videos talking about everything we're doing on the website. So if you want a live training, just go watch a video and pretend I'm there, because I'm talking to people and they are live when I do them. So if you just watch those, you'll probably learn. There's some videos are 2 or 3 hours long, but just turn it on, put your headset on, sit on the couch while your spouse or whatever is watching TV or something, and just learn. Just get you a tablet or laptop or whichever, and just learn. One person, it's Air in the group. He said he has found that he likes to watch my videos more than TV. So it's that's made me laugh. But
I would say that the first day I actually traded my demo accounts live, I paid for my bots and indicators and then some
there
on
you
my
go.
first day.
And that's what it's about. I mean, 1,300 or 900, depending on which one you want. Sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not, because you can make that in one day. If you follow the rules, you can make that in a day easy. It's not very hard. Air, I mean, he is just killing it. I mean, it's just unbelievable the money he's making. Um, I
He's
think,
fun to watch.
yeah, one day he was like $27,000 in one day. I mean, he's just killing it. So
I, I,
the
I'm
Ninja
sorry.
Suite is everything combined with Discord access, I assume. Yes. When you lease the Ninja Suite bots or the indicators, you get everything. The only thing different is with the Ninja Suite bots, you only get, or I'm sorry, with the Ninja Suite indicators, you don't get the bots. But if you do the bots and indicators, you get everything. So, but all the Discord, the live training, everything comes with either package. Everything. The only thing you won't get is the bots on the indicator package. That's the only difference. The Discord, that's the only thing that sometimes you might have to wait on. If I'm awake and I get the email with your Discord screen name after you signed up, I add you. But if I'm asleep in the middle of the night, you might have to wait until I wake up. Brad, one more thing. Support. Do I not help you, or do I help you?
Man, you've been fantastic. I mean, I was seriously impressed because I've been with some companies that the only way they will deal with you is through email, if they will even respond. And you're pretty quick. I mean, it's not more than, 5, 6 hours usually before I get the response, and that's usually because it's overnight. And yeah, I've been really, really happy.
Well, good.
It's been nice compared to the things I've done. Last thing I would say is, if you're listening to this tonight and you've looked at this, if you've done any other programs and you've lost money trading and you couldn't find something that was working for you, give this a look, because I've spent 5 years doing this, and this is by far the best trading I have ever done in my life.
Yeah, you're doing a good job too. We have some people that join and just can't get it. They don't commit to it. Brad, you definitely committed to doing it, learning it. I mean, you're on a mission. And I think if I remember right, you told me this was your last hope. If you couldn't do this, you're quitting. And
Pretty
is
much.
that
Yep.
so? And your wife, she was a little skeptical about it at first, but I think she loves two Brads now. So,
Yep.
you more than me, but I think
It's already dreaming.
she made two friends. So,
Yep.
but you got anything else you want to add or anything, or is that? I mean, you've said a lot. I
No,
appreciate it.
I appreciate you letting me be on tonight, and I hope that I help some of you pull the trigger on this, because I think you'll really find that it's worth it.
All right, Brad, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you. I've got another person that I am going to add in. They put in that said they're brand new and seem to be learning quite well. So I'm gonna go ahead and add you, Hovig. Let me unmute you. Okay, unmute yourself. There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you fine.
Perfect. Good evening, guys, over Dallas. Well, I just joined you. This is my first week, well, the fourth day actually. So there's a lot to learn, and just like Brad, I've gone through a lot of trading systems before. Uh, I mean, I've spent tons of money with different programs, and I didn't see anything compared to what you have to offer. And when I looked at your website last week, and it didn't take me long, I think we emailed each other back and forth just like a few hours. And I remember one of the emails you said, when you're ready, because I had to pay through differently, I'll let you in. I said I'm ready. So it didn't take me long to make the decision, uh, even though yeah, it is quite a money, but at the end of the day, that's not important. What we're getting is a system if we commit to it. And from what I'm looking at it, there's a system to make money consistently with this program, and that's what uh, really I like. The other thing I like, I'm into levels too. I have spent a lot of time studying the markets. So I have created my own levels. And then when you talked about levels, I'm like, okay, we are on the same page here. So it's funny, Brad was saying he has 5 minute charts of the markets that he trades via Twinkle Swim. I have the exact thing. I trade NQS, and I'm testing on CL, crude oil, and I've got the 5 minute chart on all three on one monitor, and uh, so I'm I'm still testing the numbers with it. Uh, I haven't really committed to full trading with the system yet. Like I said, when I started the first couple of days, to be honest with I was overwhelmed. I was like, what did I do? I mean, there's so much to do. I'm like, did I do the right thing? I mean, am I? But then I stepped back, and I started reading the Discord, whatever people were writing, and I didn't really participate much in the Discord because again, I'm new. I was just trying to absorb, kind of uh, have my eyes on what other people are doing through Discord, because I think that's one of the best ways to learn. Uh, and it's what I don't, the username Air, that he's making a lot of money. And he made a comment before. One of the things I have to say is I used to overtrade all the time. I mean, 2, 3 weeks ago, I went through my daily log one day, and I had traded over 70 times.
Wow,
I'm like,
that's commissions.
that's totally wrong, totally wrong. And then today, when the market at one point when it was choppy for a couple of hours, I didn't trade at all. I sat back and I watched it. I watched some of your videos, and then he made that comment in Discord that he traded you and he doesn't regret it. I was like, yes, you know what? That's a big improvement for me. So, uh, in terms of what I'm doing right now, like I'm taking one strategy. Uh, I'm gonna focus on the trender because that's what everybody's talking about. And I actually just started looking into the trender today. Believe it or not, I had seen it, but I was so overwhelmed that I didn't even know which direction to go. So I'm looking at the trender and really analyzing, watching your videos. I think one thing I'm doing consistently is I have two monitors and I have two of your websites open and watching videos consistently.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's one of the. At first, I was like, "How do I get support?" And you've been excellent in terms of via emails. When I email, you communicated right away and you directed me. And I really like the fact that you directed me to the videos that I should watch. So that helped a lot.
Helps you
So
get started quicker.
for me, is watching the videos consistently and focusing on one strategy right now, and even just trading one market right now, just to learn that one market. You know? And so that's my focus right now, is to do the trender via NQ, and then I'll study ES and CL at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's just learn one is all you need. I mean, you don't need to learn a whole lot of different things. I mean, if you just learn one strategy and make some money, and then once you get that learned, then you go ahead and start looking at other ones. I mean, just because everybody's trading the trender doesn't mean you have to. We've got multiple
Correct.
indicators on there, and some people will add a little twist to theirs. And just to give you an idea, I mean, if you trade NQ, Error, he likes to trade this on a 30-5 Menzo Renko. It's not even my bars, but that's what he trades. And let me just take off some things here so you can see better. Take that off. And then he adds the boss to his. And he does a 1.5, and then we go to the trender. He does a 22. Actually, you see, now he would take that one off, and he does one trender. He does the 22 staircase. So this is what he trades right here. Well, actually, that shaker, I thought I took that off. Let's see here. This is mainly what he trades. And this is one thing that, this is the one where the guy was making all the money. This is the one he looks at. And he's got, like he would enter right here. And then as it goes up, he would enter again about right here. And then he would do the same thing here. To enter here, and then he'd pick up here. And he usually goes, I think he's doing five to 10 contracts is what he's trading. And according to him, he is about a 95% success rate on it. So he's doing really well off of this strategy. So
Cool.
when you come in and you looked at the website and such, I mean, have you had any problem navigating through it to get things set up? I mean, has it been difficult, easy, what?
Everything was extremely easy to set up. I mean, I did have some issues on that, but that was on my end, and you emails that I send you in terms of what should I do, and the setup part was extremely easy.
Good.
And I
I'm
mean,
updating some things in there to make it even better. I'm going to make a video. As soon as you come in, it's the first thing you watch, and it's just kind of do an overview of everything. So I'm going to put that on there to kind of help some newer
I
people.
think I think that's a good idea, because that's where I was overwhelmed. Like, which direction should I go first?
Yeah.
And that's the confusion I had originally. But quick question I've got on this on the site that we have right now. So error does, for me, the biggest problem, especially when you use Renko bars, is the entry. So
Yes.
without the bot, it's really hard to enter at the right time. So right. So I think uh, I'm assuming he's using the bot to enter the trades, right?
I think he's using manual, but the bot will enter these for you. The bot will
Got you.
enter it,
Okay.
but I
That,
don't know that 100%. But I think he enters manually, but I'm just not sure.
got you. My next thing is, I'm looking at the trender. I need to master the bot system too. I mean, that's something, especially for the entries. I want to use the bot for entries and then manage the positions accordingly.
Well, if we go into the trender, this is how he sets it up. He puts a 22 there. He does the staircase, and we're going to do the there and there, just so it looks the same. He does not do the second entry, and his general stop, he is using a fixed. I think he's using. I think he uses a 40. I can't remember for sure. And then he's on this one. He is going. See, I think he's going for like 10 to be. I think he's going for. I think it's 30 ticks. That's what he's looking at. So his risk reward is a little bit worse than what I would, but his win rate's good. Then he's putting a boss filter, and his boss filter he's using a 1.5 and a 20. And we're going to change this. Let's see, the up collar is going to be teal, and the down collar is going to be linen. And then I think that is all he is doing. So let me go over here, and actually, hold on a second here. Got that on my live account by accident. So we'll go over here and my strategies and turn this on so everybody can see what the bot actually looks like on the chart. So this is the way the bot works. Is you have a close all button. This over here you won't use. So if we come in here and do the hidden, if we do hidden, that'll allow the flags to appear, like the stop and the profit target and all that. So you do hidden. This bot, you can actually enter a trade on your own manually. So let's just say that you were on this trade here, and let's say that for some reason you had the bot paused and it didn't enter. So if you're wanting to wait because you don't like the way all the setups are, you just pause it and it won't enter a trade. If you want to enter longs only, or shorts only, you'd turn the longs off, and if you want to enter the longs only, you can turn shorts off. So it won't do that. It'll just take those longs. Like today would have been a good day, just turn the shorts off. But if you miss this trade, then you could actually go ahead and just click, say you want to go short. Well, whatever the settings are, which you can revisit your settings up here, and you can change them. So let's say you wanted to go to 3 contracts now instead. Whatever these settings are, is when you hit this manual enter, that's what it's going to do. So if I hit this one, it's going to be the 40 stop, and it's going to be the 30 profit target. You can move these with the bot. So let's just say you wanted it down here. You can move your stops and profit targets any way you want, and the bot will still control it based on whatever your settings are. So in this case, if you want to put your stop like in this here, say you wanted to go right there, and let's just say you're looking at this level and you think, well, it can probably go down to here, so you can move this and go for more profit if you want. So everything is interchangeable as far as once the bot enters the trade, or if you manually enter. If you manually enter off of this right here, the bot will not enter another trade until this is exited. And the bot will take over this trade based on what your settings are. So if you had trail stop set up for something, then it would automatically go ahead and do it. It does give a unrealized profit, and it gives a realized profit or loss. If you are in a trade, and let's just say it gets down here and you want to go to break even, you can hit break even, and it will automatically move it down 2 ticks below this, if that's what you have set. So in this case, you have brought, if you turn this on, it would be break even ticks. You could set this for, say, 2. Oops, messed up there. You can set your break even in here for whatever you want to change that to. Like break even offset would be, let's see here, break even ticks. So yeah, you can set, let me turn that off because I don't want it on there. But you can set this to where when it hits a certain spot, then it will put your break even there. So in this case, the way that was set, if it went 25 ticks, then it would automatically move it to 2 ticks. So you can set it up that way. So the bot is really, there's a lot of settings in here, but you can set it any way you want. And so you can change it on the fly. So you don't have to disable the bot, change it, and re-enable it. We added these settings to where you can start changing yourself. It makes it easier. I have one question up here. Do you have to use the VPS based in Chicago? You can use a VPS based anywhere you want, but if it's in Chicago, like my Spy Money VPS, then your executions will sometimes be a little bit quicker. So a VPS in Chicago is much better. I know some people find a cheap VPS overseas, but your server is overseas and it has to come all the way across the pond to get over here, so that's a lag. Would I, as far as the VPS itself, I recommend VPS. I run it on a VPS. If you're going to do a bot, you ought to be on a VPS because your laptops and everything just shut down periodically. I personally like trading on a VPS. The internet is better. It's 99.9% uptime, and being located in Chicago, you get a faster execution, which may be 1 tick, maybe 3 ticks, maybe 2 points. You never know. Depends on how the market's moving. So that would help you out. Do you have anything else you want to add, Owen?
I'm good. I mean, all I have to say, I'm glad I found you guys or find you and your program. And if anyone is, on the sidelines, I would say just jump in and give it a try. You won't regret it.
I appreciate that. Glad to have you too. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute
Thanks,
you.
appreciate it too.
You're welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you, and that is the last person that said that they want to say anything. Most people in our group won't even post profits. They just they're silent in the background, won't talk or nothing. So, does he use Rhythmic or Tradeify for the bots? We have people using Rhythmic and we have people using Tradeify. When Apex initially started using Tradeify, in my opinion, it was better. But now there's so many people that have went over there because Apex is a huge company. I mean, they're a good company. Daryl's got a good thing going over there. They have their growing pains. I'll say it that way. Things happen. But it seems like Rhythmic is working better now than what it did before because a lot of people left the Rhythmic servers that they have and went to Tradeivate. And the big difference between the Tradeivate and the Rhythmic is with Rhythmic, you can cancel out all your trades on Rhythmic. What is it? RTrader Pro. You can cancel them out there, and you can also go to the Apex website and flatten the account there. With Tradeivate, you have to go the Tradeivate accounts. You have to go to tradeivate.com and log into there. And if you've got 20 accounts open, you have to go to each individual account and exit them. There is a place under your account where the dollar amount is that you can say exit all contracts and everything, but it does not work right. So for me personally, if you're going to trade, 1-2 contract or 1 or 2 accounts, it's either or. But if you're going to trade a lot of accounts, I think that I would probably go to the Rhythmic, and that's hard for me to say. But Rhythmic works better now than what it has in the past so far. Both of them have a little bit of down, the data is a little bit slow. But we also take profit. If you go on my website, there's a 50% discount. Take profit works extremely well, and it's on the Tradeivate. It's on CQG, and it works great. There's no lag or anything. It does great. Yes, I've recorded this, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube. So this will be on YouTube for the public. It's a public training, so I put everything on YouTube. It's public. Do we have any questions about anything? The bots, I don't have enough time to go through all the bots, but going through what I did on this one, all the bots are set up basically the same. They all have different filters. So to give you an idea, is you have all of these filters down through here. And a filter means like a VWAP filter. If we turn the VWAP filter on, and let me just turn the VWAP on so you can see what it is. VWAP is a very strong indicator. And let's just say that we turn this one on. So right now, and let me change this over to something that, let me change it to a 10. So right now, if we get a signal, if we had the VWAP turned on the bot, it would only take trades, shorts below the VWAP, and it would only take longs above the VWAP. So in this case, this one right here would have entered a short, it would have entered a short here and entered a short here. But it would not have taken these longs because it's under the VWAP. So think of a filter as if the filter is long only, it will only allow the bot to take longs on whatever indicator that you're using. And if it's under the VWAP, it will only take the shorts. So you can add those filters right here, and you can add them on the fly, and it will help you out. We have one called Manowar. Manowar is actually pretty good. I haven't used it in a while. We have a chop filter. Honestly, I've left it on there. I'm not real happy with it, and it looks for the chop, and I never could quite get it the way I want it. So just seeing this chop filter, I don't want you to get excited because it does work, but it's just not. I think you're better off just do it manually for now. But this is something I'll come back and work on again later. We have a moving average filter, so if you check that, then you can add in whatever moving average you want. So if you're, a lot of people trade like an EMA 21. If you put an EMA 21, the bot will only take longs if the price is above it and shorts below it. And that's the way the filters work. Time frames, I'll go over this. So we have time filters, so you can go in here and you can make it trade whatever time you want. You can do up to 4 start and stop times. I personally don't like the trade time filters because we don't know what time the market's going to move. A lot of people want me to send them a strategy analyzer report showing what the bot would do from like 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock or something. But we don't run bots that way. We look at the past hour and see how it's been trading, and if it's been trading fine, then we turn it on. If it's been in chop and had a lot of losing trades, we don't turn it on. And I teach you how to do that. It's really not hard. Just look in the past hour. We are only looking to trade for, say 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's what we're trying to get our trades in. And we're looking to try to get 3 to 4 solid trades. That's all we're looking for. We're not looking to trade 30 trades a day. And we have our limits of our loss, and if you lose that much, you quit. You don't trade anymore. So that's how we end up trading. We have what's the other one in here? Oh, the net wins and losses. This one, if you want to set it where when you get 3 net wins, that means if you lost one, then you made one, you're back to 0. And if you won another one, you're at 1. If you won another one, you're at 2. You won another one at 3. So if you had 3 net wins, it will shut off. If you have 3 net losses, it will shut off. Now, if you're manually, or not manually, but if you're watching the bot and stuff, then I would, which you should be, I would not use that, and I would just manually do it myself to where, count them up, and when you hit your dollar amount, quit. But if you're looking to turn this on and I don't recommend it, but if you're looking to turn this on and walk away, this will do that. But the problem is that if you have any issues with your PC or your NinjaTrader or a funded account, things happen. So I always recommend everybody to watch them. You can do session P&L. So if you're looking to make X amount of dollars or lose X amount of dollars, it will do it. And this is the trailing P&L. If we do that, then it will trail your P&L. So instead of putting $1,000, you could put this at $3,000, and then you could put a trailing profit trigger of 500 and a trailing P&L of 250. So if it goes up and hits 500, it will raise the trailing P&L $250. So instead of being 1,000, it will go to 1,250. And then once you make another 500, then it will go to 1,500, and it just keeps trailing it. That's one way you can do it. I personally don't use it. Some people had asked about it, so I added it. What I would do is just manually trade it, as far as watch this manually, and then when you get to that point, then you just shut it off. What time do you start the room in the morning for trading? Discord's open 24 hours a day. We are a team. It's not about Brad. It's about us as a team. and everybody in there is always helping. I sleep at night, just like I guess most people. At nighttime, we have people that are in other countries that are awake when I'm sleeping, but they all communicate and help each other. So they will post some things, and sometimes it'll go all night and nothing posted. Sometimes during the day it's real quiet. Sometimes it's quite often. Are there live charts in the room? We take screenshots of charts, but we don't do live trading. I don't personally like to live trade. It messes me up. When someone's watching me, I never could do it. I've tried, but I can't do it. When someone's over your shoulder watching you do something, it's just difficult when you're needing to concentrate and know what to do. If you're live trading and someone's trying to follow you, you may be in and out of the trade before they even get in. So it's just not good. I do post screenshots. I will tell you what trades. I also tell you some levels that I think it may hit, and I'm not always right by no means. A lot of times I am, and what I tell you is that it's looking for this. Kind of be on lookout for it, and if you're trading in the shorts, it may go down to this point, and when it gets down to this point, you probably ought to be thinking about taking profit there and maybe reassessing the charts to see where you need to go. Any other questions before we end the stream? So just to recap how to get started, I'm going to end it this way. So we'll go in here and click on the home button. When you go into the main website, the SpyMoneyLLC.com, go to the Ninja Suite. And then when you go down there, you pick if you want bots and indicators or if you just want the indicators. Either one of them, you get the full package. It's just a matter of do you get the bots or not. The majority of the people do the bots and indicators together, but we have a lot of people that do just the indicators. I think the bots, if you use the bot as a entry, and it will also teach you the strategy because it will trade it and you can watch it. So that's one way you can do it. Come down here, and again, these are the bots, not all the bots, but this is the bots I've got listed on here. I think we added one or two more on here, maybe. And the indicators, I definitely have some newer indicators that I need to add on here. As I add a bot or an indicator, it automatically comes with your package. All thing you have to do is remove the import that you did, remove SpyMoney products, and then you'll have one for bots and you'll have one for indicators. If you had a bot update, you'll remove the bots and add the new one, and it will put all the updates, which I have an update for everybody. It's going to happen tomorrow. So that's how you do it. If you want funded accounts, one thing I'd mentioned was the take profit. This one right here is 50% off. You only get 3 accounts with it, but honestly, it trades perfect. I've never had any issues with this one. Apex does a really good job. I think that right now, based on what I see, I think that the Rhythmic is actually doing better than the Tradeify. I think they've just overloaded the servers with Tradeify. UProfit, I don't really use it. They do a good job. Fast Money, these two right here, I think in the long run, Take Profit is probably better if you only want up to 3 accounts. This is the one I would go with. You get paid, it's a 10-day trial evaluation. After 10 days, you go live and you can take money out every day. If you make $100,000 today, you can take $100,000. Apex is scaled out over 4 months, and I don't like that. Take Profit, if you're only looking for up to 3 accounts, this is your one. They both pay out 90%. There's no difference. This one right here is they want to see you trade consistently daily during the evaluation, but after evaluation, you trade how you want. One of them I use Take Profit for 10 days. I like it best, but I use Tradeify for data. Yeah. Well, the Tradeify, it's not Tradeify for data, it's CQG. So with Tradeify, you're actually using CQG data, which is what I've got right here. CQG is definitely the best in my opinion, and that's even with like your live Ninja Trader account, you get CQG. UProfit uses Rhythmic, Apex uses Rhythmic and CQG, and Take Profit uses CQG only. So, and then here's a little chart showing the differences between them. Down here's the coupons. I think UProfit's actually 50% off now. If you click this, I think they went to 50%. Yeah, they're 50% off right now. So they're trying to catch up. UProfit is far behind. I think Take Profit is going to be number 2 real soon. They're very good. I like them. I like Take Profit a lot. Apex I like too, but they have growing pains. They're the leader, and with that you get that. Yeah, it's 90% off on Apex. Yeah, if you click this and put this coupon in right here or this one, you'll get 90%. I changed that, and then they ended up changing it back, and I forgot to change it on the website. Thanks. I'll change that tonight. So this one's 50% off, this one's 90% off, and this one's 50% off. Take Profit's the most expensive, but in my opinion, I think Take Profit, if you're only looking for 3 accounts, you can't beat it. The entries are perfect. It works great with the trade copier. I mean, it's just, the data log or data lag is non-existent. It works, and you get paid quicker. So that's my opinion. All 3 companies are good companies. I'm not saying bad about any of them. They're all 3 good companies. So it really kind of depends on what you want. And you can trade all 3 of these at the same time. You can trade all 3. One thing I didn't mention earlier is we do not use NinjaTrader 8.1. We use NinjaTrader 8.0.27.1. 8.1 has nothing but bugs. It has nothing to do with spy money products. It has to do with them. And a lot of people are having issues, so we just refuse to update. Yes, you can run any Apex account, Trade Profit account, or UProfit account on 8.0. The only thing you have to do is take your lifetime license out of the Ninja Suite or the NinjaTrader, and you put either Tradeify or Take Profit or Apex Tradeify license key in place of it, and it will work. That's all you have to do. So, any questions? Jeffrey, you do not have to use 8.1. There is no making. You can use 8.0271. All you have to do is just do what I just said. I do not like 8.1 at all. I'm going to give it, hopefully they'll come out with an 8.2. And I don't even like it. I don't like to have to sign in every time. I don't like anything about it. I like the old one much better. And until it quits working, I won't update. I will continue to use what I got, because 8.1, I tried it one weekend and I could not ever get it to work. No, I do not run specials, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do this tonight. I don't do one-on-one setups or nothing like that, but for the first 10 people that sign up tonight, and I have not looked, it might be more than 10, but the first 10 people that sign up, I'll remote into your computer, and I will set everything up and give you just a quick tutorial on which bots to use and which indicators to use, the setups. First 10 people. And again, I don't know how many people signed up tonight because I haven't looked. But the first 10 people, I will remote in and do it. I can have you up and running in less than an hour. It's how long it'll take. It takes me 5 minutes to set up your system. But I can get everything set up and then do a quick tutorial on how to use a couple strategies and help you out. First 10 people. No discount, but I'll do the remote setup. And that'll actually save you several hours, if not a day, because there's a lot of information to go through. It doesn't really take that long, especially if you understand NinjaTrader, but if you don't, then it's a little bit harder. To import the indicators and the bots, it's the same way you import any indicator. Same way. And the machine ID, the only thing you have to do is go in the back end. Again, that's right here. You click on machine ID, And then you have to, if you do the bots, you have to do the bots and the indicators together. So if we went to the bots and you follow these instructions to get your machine ID, you come down here, you put it in here, click submit. It'll tell you OK, and then you restart NinjaTrader and it works. It's that quick. But I do not ever run discounts on the Ninja Suite. Everybody pays the same. And the reason I do that is because if someone signed up last week for $1,300, and if I run a $300 discount, they're mad. So everybody pays the same, and that way everybody in the Discord is, on the same page. They all pay the same. There's no differences between them. That's why I do it. There's nothing like buying something and then it go 20% off the next week. It makes you mad. It does me. Any other questions? You post it down in the chat box. We have gone quite long tonight. I try to keep them in an hour. This one's over 2 hours. A lot of information. I hope I have helped you as far as knowing how to trade better, maybe looking at the higher lows and higher highs, and also looking at your levels. We have our own SPY mini bars up here, and you also get all my templates saved up here, but the SPY mini bars is mainly what I trade with. That's what I use. Alright guys, I'm going to end this recording, and I appreciate everybody being here.